Today you are going to be painting your castle that you built out of clay. So you want to be very careful as you move your castle from your cabinet to your desktop. I would never hold the castle from the top, and I wouldn't hold it from any small piece that was sticking out from the side like these stairs or like a drawbridge. I would always carry it from the bottom with two hands because clay pieces can still break off. Then you are going to be working on top of a messy mat plus a project board and a piece of wax paper, and your project is going to sit on top of that when you do the painting. And the reason is because the wax paper acts like a tablecloth, and then at the end of class, just like when we built the clay project, you can just pick up the board and carefully go put that on your shelf. Just be very careful because the wax paper is slick, so your project can slide around really easily if you move too quickly. Then at your table you will have a container with gray paint to start with inside of a cup that you're going to share with the person sitting next to you, and then you'll be putting water half full into a yogurt cup to use to clean your brushes, and then you'll have a variety of paint brushes and paper towels. So to begin with, you need to learn how to properly hold a paintbrush. So the metal part of the brush is where your fingers should be close to. So you want to hold that brush close to where the metal piece is. You don't want to hold the brush from the very end of it because you don't have as much control using the end, so you want to hold it down low. And then you're just going to be dipping a little bit of gray paint in on the bristles, and then you're going to start painting all of your castles. So when you paint, you want to paint in brush strokes where I'm kind of pulling the brush back, and then I might turn my hand and then pull it in this direction. So I'm always kind of pulling away from where I'm painting, and you'll notice that when your brush starts to run dry and the color is not applying very easily, just dip it a little bit in that paint again. If you did a battlement edge, make sure that you paint the top of the battlement edge and the sides. And then just make sure that cup is accessible so that the student next to you, you guys can share that paint cup together. But when I'm painting, I don't want to be pushing the paint. And what I mean is, I don't want to take my paintbrush and push my brush so that the bristles are all getting spread out like this. That's going to start to ruin the shape of the brush. Instead, I want to kind of pull the brush back where the bristles are not being smashed in the forward position. And then your goal is to try and paint the entire clay surface of your castle. Top, sides, front. Eventually, you might need to tip your castle to see it from a different angle, but to begin with, I can just kind of spin my board as I need to turn my project to paint from another angle. I can turn my board. So I want you to start by painting the castle first. When I grade this, I'm looking to see that you thoroughly covered all the clay. Your painting should look neat, and there shouldn't be chunks of paint on the surface. You want to kind of use that brush to smooth it out. Do your best that you can to get the brush in between the small areas. So I shouldn't see clay showing still once you're done painting, and it should look like you did a neat job with your best effort. We'll start with our castles first, and then if you finish your castle, I will start providing other colors that you might work with to do the ground or the moat or any other figurines or characters that you sculpted to go along with it. So at the end of class, when you are at cleanup time, what you're going to do is swish your brush around at the bottom of the cup. Then you're going to use your paper towel and you're just going to wipe that clean. You want to test this. If there's paint that shows up on the paper towel, then you didn't clean it well enough. If the paper towel is just wet and there's no color on it, then you know that your brush is clean. Then used paper towel is going to get thrown away in the trash cans that will be at your table. These paintbrushes you're just going to lay flat inside the tray. One person needs to go dump the water cup and bring it back, and then the paint in your cup is also going to stay in your tray. What you're going to do is carefully go carry that project board and set your project back on your shelf to continue to paint next class.